Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Roma Lash TV. So today in this video, I'm gonna be getting into the baddies tea. Okay. Um, as you all know, I mean, it's the baddies universe. There's always some drama going on. If it's not the girls arguing or fighting amongst themselves, they're arguing with their spouse, their kids, their family, whatever. So, in this video, we're gonna get into Rollie and her man's drama. If you guys don't know, if you guys are not keeping up with the tea on the gram, Rollie just broke up with her man like a couple of days ago. How she did it when she came on Instagram, she made a couple of stories basically saying, I'm single as F, niggas are trash, I'm not gonna be dating for a while. Then she went on to say how her man got punked off by two of her gay friends and he tried to pull a knife on them. He's sassy, he's a bum, this, that. He need to call his mama because she changed the locks on her house and she's gonna F his friends and just all this stuff, right? She was just going on and on. And after that, he decided to come on and basically like he did like a story. Okay, the story. He went on live. Okay, he went on live. He was on live for like a good, I don't know, hour, like an hour and change. He was on live, like Instagram live for like an hour and change. And he was just exposing Rollie, talking about her son, her family, how her family's living. She has, she's crazy. She has mental problems. She's not a nice person, this and that. He was even spilling like tea about like what happens like behind the scenes on baddies and stuff like that, spilling tea on Scotty, spilling tea on Lemmy, and just he spilled a lot of tea, guys. Okay. And I will do a video on him, but it's just so much. And I need to go back on his live and just like pick, because I'm not gonna play the whole live. Like it's just way too long. So I'm gonna go on his live and just pick like pieces from the live and include them in the video that I want to do, because I am not doing a video on that entire live. Like y'all know how I ramble, y'all know how I talk. Like I'll be on live for like 2-3 hours, okay? Okay. Like I just did a video on the baddies trailer, and the trailer was barely 4 minutes, and it took me like a whole hour just to talk about the trailer. Okay, so imagine me doing a video on an hour live. Like, no, I'm just gonna have to like pull out little pieces and of the live that where he's like really spilling tea and just talk about that. Okay, but I'm gonna do video Rollie's video first. I'm gonna speak on her video first because she did answer him. She came on live after, and her video was pretty short. Her video was about like 9-10 minutes. So she came on Instagram after and she did a little live where she was like exposing him as well. So like just answering to like some of the stuff he said and whatever. So we're gonna get into that right now in this video. Okay, because it's much shorter and I know like we're not gonna be here for a while, right? Because she really didn't say that much compared to him. So let me just go to, where is the video? Where is that video? Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it, guys. Just give me a sec while okay, here we go. Bam. Bam. Let me play it for y'all. For real. So, long story short, this nigga is a fucking dog. Lied about his whole fucking career. Told me that she was the one looking at baddies. Nigga came to my house with $300 in his pocket. Sitting around fucking talking about he don't want to get a job. He don't want to work. This nigga just got a job a week ago. I had to force him to get the fuck up to get a job. This dick not even working. He got to take gas station dick pills. I don't know what the fuck that nigga did to his dick, but what? How old is this man? How old is this man? Okay, for y'all who don't know, I'm gonna show y'all a picture of. I'm gonna show y'all his face in a minute. If y'all don't know who he is, I'm gonna show his Instagram. He doesn't look that old. I mean, if I had to guess his age, he looks like he's in his 30s. He doesn't look that old, so he has to take dick pills for his dick to work. Like, what is he taking? Viagra, Cialis or Cialis, whatever it's called. What the hell? What the hell? So, okay, she said he came to her house with $300. His dick don't work. He don't have a job. He just got a job. Um, what were you doing with him? Why did he come? Why did you bring him to your house? Like, what? What is going on? Like, where did she find this bum? Like, now, see, Rolly, I gotta give you the side eye because she hasn't been dating this guy for long. Okay, they've been together, or whoops, they've known each other. They've known each other for about 6 months because I watched his live and he said that she said that anyway. You know what? Let me just play the video. Let me play the video. So is Tasiki's man living off of her? Does Tasiki's man have a job? Because he thought y'all were gonna be like. So what are you trying to say? Is Tasiki's man a bum? Is he not working? Is he just living off Tasiki? I mean, we all know Tasiki's the breadwinner of that family, clearly. But or who knows? Because we really don't know what her man does, you know. But I mean, he can't be that busy because he be following Tasiki around everywhere she goes, right? But anywho, like I don't know why Rolly. I'm disappointed in Rolly because you know something, Rolly. I know she's insecure. She clearly acts like that. Like, you know, she it's very clear she's insecure. She's an insecure person, right? You don't have like 50 surgeries if you're really like, you know, a person with high self-esteem, you're not going to have like all this surgery and stuff like, you know, and you know, you did all of that. You look much better than how you looked before you started on Zeus. You have much more money than you had before you started on Zeus, and you look better. Why are you dating these bums, Rolly? I'm disappointed in her because, you know, and she's always quick to, you know, when she's arguing with bitches, she's always quick to call a bitch broke and, oh, you look like this and you look like. First of all, her man is not that good looking. Okay, like the guy looks like he smells. Okay, like he's not that good looking. He's not a good looking guy, really. Um, when you see him up close, he's not a good looking guy. From afar, he don't look too bad, but up close, he doesn't look that good looking, really. And his dick don't work. So okay, obviously the sex is not good. His dick game is off. You know, if he got to take pills and his dick don't work and all this stuff. So you're not dickmatized. Okay, it's not like you're getting good sex from him. And then he doesn't have a job. He doesn't want to work. So no ambition, no income, like why him? Like I would love to know like why him? Would you choose him? And then you got him up in your house and stuff, and you got him like coming places with you and stuff like that. Like what are you doing? What are you doing? You spent all this money on your body to be rolling around with a dusty? I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I'm making six figures, okay? Doing all this surgery to make myself look good, to be laid up in my house with a dusty, a man who can't fuck, okay? Got no money coming in. You can't even help you laid up in my house and you can't even help me pay a bill cuz you broke and you have no job? I'll be damned. I'll be damned. You spending all this money on designer clothes, expensive $1,000 wigs and stuff like that to be laid up in your house with a dusty? Girl, Rollie better than me because I don't make nowhere near what Rollie makes, and I wouldn't even fucking do that. So, girl, okay. So when this guy first came to your house, he asked you to buy him a chain, and you still stayed with him. You didn't know to head for the hills after. The man is clearly an opportunist, Rolly, and all the signs were there, and you still stayed with him. Okay, like you got no one to blame but yourself. You look, man, you did this live to expose him, and this makes you look worse than it does him because shame on you for shame on you for even entertaining a man like this, Rolly. Shame on you. The money and fame that you have, you don't need to be entertaining a dusty like this, let alone have him up in your house where you and your son live. Like, this is crazy. But of course he's gonna go viral if he's posted up with you. You're Rolly. Everybody knows Rolly from Baddies. Of course he's gonna go viral. What the hell? Like, who is he? Like, nobody knows who this guy is. But you have him in your house where you and your son live. You're not gonna put no nigga on that you just met, but you got him up in your house. You got him following you around the place. And didn't she say he came to Atlanta with her or something? You running around the man, Rolly. Like I said, Rolly better than me, man. Better she than me. And this is why you guys, when you date someone, you really have to vet them out. Okay, you really have to do your research on people. I know some people that do background checks, and some people think that's crazy, but y'all really got to do background checks on these people. Y'all really got to do your homework on these people. You know, I would say even for my ladies, before you bring a man to your house, go to his house first. See how he's living. Especially my girlies who have kids. See how he's living first. See if he even has a place to live. I've made this mistake in the past. I mean, years ago when I was in my 20s, I made this mistake in the past that Rollie made. So I see where she's coming from, right? Because these niggas, some of them, they'll lie, man. You can't go by what a guy tells you. Even these women too, like, hey, it goes both ways, you know? Like some of these women, they be lying too about, where they work, what they do, where they live, blah, blah, blah. But these men, they lie. And there's a lot of homosexuals out there. And most of these homosexuals, they be men, not women. Okay. And there's a lot of people, especially with the way the economy is, there's a lot of people that are just trying to get with people just so they could have a place to sleep, just so they could have a place to live. Okay. The homosexual thing, it's real. Okay. It's real. And this is what this guy sounds like. This is what it seems like. He's a homosexual. I mean, we really don't know who's lying between her and him. I mean, we do know that Rollie does tell lies on people, and sometimes Rollie likes to rewrite history. And you know, like when she said her and Slim were never friends, but we all know that was a lie. But that's for another video. But yeah, like y'all need to do your research on these guys. Y'all need to don't be so quick to move these guys in. Don't be so quick to introduce them to your family and stuff like that, especially your kids if you all have kids, especially young kids. You know, y'all gotta, you like me. I'm Caribbean, so we're very big on that. You can't just have people up in your house, especially if you got young kids. Protect your energy. Have boundaries. you know Protect your energy, protect your space, protect your family, the people you love. There's some crazy people out there too. There's some people that'll stalk you. There's some people that will, if they can't get to you, if they can't get in your house, you change the lot, they'll stalk your family. If they know where they live, they'll stalk your friends. So just be careful, man. Be careful. Y'all really got to get to know people before you just bring them up in your house and stuff. you know This, I didn't know he was a bum. I had to discover. I didn't know he didn't have a place to live. Like, if you had visited him at his place, you would have known because he don't have a place. And I'm not saying, the first date or, go to the guy's house, because that's dangerous too. I'm not going to no man's house on a first date, even on a second date. I'm not going. Don't be going to no man's house so quick. Don't be letting them in your house too quick either. But I would say, before letting him in your place, visit his place first, just to see how he's, because you can tell a lot about someone by where they live and how they live, especially how they live. Sometimes you can't help what neighborhood you're in. You sometimes it's, especially with, inflation, sometimes you just gotta take what you can get. But you have to see how a person lives. Are they clean? Does their place smell? Do they live with people? How are those people? How is the dynamic with them? Do they get along? Do they like him? Are they respectful? And you know what I mean? It's a lot of things. You guys gotta vet these people out before you decide you're gonna date them and play house and all this stuff. Hold up. So I'm a little confused by that. She had him breaking down in a hotel room in Atlanta when she broke up with him, but then he was in. She couldn't get him out of her house. He was still in her house. Okay, well maybe that's what she meant when she said she had to get her two gay friends to get him out of her house. Cause I guess when she was out of, cause they were filming, they just finished filming Baddies Africa, right? So I guess when she was in Africa, cause 5 weeks ago, okay, so she did this live. When did she do this live? She did this live like a couple of days ago. Like within the last 5 days, she did this live, right? So 5 weeks ago would have been like, cause what we're in May now. We're like the first week of May, so that would have been like the beginning of April. Okay, so he was supposed to be out of her house. She told him to get out of her house at that time, and oh boy, she moved way too fast with this guy. Way too fast. Way too fast. That's crazy. After 5 weeks, it took you 5 weeks to get this guy out of your house. No wonder she had to call her friends. Wow. Okay. And like, why are you out of the country and this man is, you didn't know to make sure he got out of your house before that? You're just relying on him to, you have a leech in your life. You know you're dating a leech. You know you're dating a louse. Okay? You didn't know to make sure he was out of your house before you left to film for, anyway, whatever. Let's just finish the video. Jesus Lord. Rollie, why would you tell us that? Rollie doesn't learn, does she? Rollie has no shame, eh? She does not learn. She does. I feel sorry for her son. Really? I feel sorry for her son. That poor boy. Like, where do I start? Rollie, why would you come on Beyonce's internet? Kanye West's internet? Because between those two, I don't know who runs it anymore. Okay. But why would you come on the internet and announce that your son got expelled from school for smoking weed in the bathroom? Why would you tell us that? I don't even think he mentioned that in his live. But Rolly, why would you tell us that? Like, you're just giving your ops more ammo. Why we didn't need to know that? Like, Rolly, you could have just said, you know what, my son is homeschooled. She could have even lied. Like, she could have said, you know what, my son is homeschooled because I have the money, I can afford to pay for it, and I just want my son closer to me. I want to spend more time with my son. I want to protect him because whatever, I'm a celebrity now, whatever, some bullshit. But like, she could have just said that, like, I have the money, so why not just pay for my son to be homeschooled with a private tutor so I could spend more time with him. She could have just said something like that. Don't tell us that your son got expelled from school for smoking weed in the bathroom. First of all, Rolly already got dragged for smoking on, she did a video, okay? She did a video where her and her son were smoking a blunt and dancing. And I think apparently he was throwing up gang signs or something like that. But she posted a video with her and her son smoking a blunt, and she got dragged for that. So why would you tell us this? Why would you tell us that your son got expelled for smoking weed in the bathroom? You already got dragged. People were already calling you a bad parent for enabling him even smoking, and he's like 14, going on 15. Now, why would you tell us that? Now, anytime you get into it with one of the baddies or one of your ops, they're gonna throw that right back in your face. Oh yeah, that's why your son got expelled from school. Yeah, you're a bad parent. You have your son smoking weed. That's why he got kicked out of school. Blah blah blah. Like, come on. You just giving your ops more ammo. Oh my gosh. You didn't need, you could have kept that to yourself, girly. For real, you could have kept that to yourself. And this is bad, you know. The same people who were saying, the people who were supporting her when she posted that video of her and her son smoking, these people were saying stuff like, "Oh, well, you know what? At least he's doing it at home, and at least he's doing it at home with his mom and not out in the street with strangers, with people that he knows." Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. She was enabling him, had him smoking in the house, and he still went and smoked in the school bathroom, not even on in the schoolyard, not even on the sidewalk across from the school, in the school bathroom. Well, he's really brave. He's really brave. At least when I was in high school, they used to either do it in the schoolyard behind a bush or something, you know, like in a corner in the schoolyard where where the other kids couldn't see, or on the sidewalk across from the school or a block away from the school, something. In the school bathroom, oh, he really don't give a fuck. My God. And this is what you enabled. Mm? This is what you enabled, Rollie. My gosh. Let's finish this video. That's crazy. Now, why would you? Rollie's really, wow. Rollie's really not the sharpest tool in the shed, eh? Is this ain't your baby daddy? Y'all ain't married. Y'all been dating for like 5 minutes. Why are you sending him money to take care of your house? The man is broke. The man don't have no job. The man is clearly an opportunist because all the signs are there. And you gonna send him money to take care of your house and buy food and buy this, and you are better off giving that money to your son. Honestly. Well, I mean, that's who, child, that's who should have been taking care of your situation in the first place. I don't know what that should have been your first option. I mean, I know that Rolly doesn't live with her mom, but that should have been your first option, really. Either your son or your mom if you feel like your son is not responsible enough. But this, you just met this guy, Rolly. You just met this guy. Y'all playing house, y'all giving him these responsibilities, trusting him with your money and stuff like that, having him around your kid. He's asking your kid for money. What is this? You moving too slack, Rolly, and this is why people call you a bad parent. Like, nah, girl. Nah, man. And thank God you have a son, because if you had a daughter, if you had a young girl, this would have looked 10 times worse. Not saying that little boys don't get touched too, but this would have looked really, really, really bad for you. If you had a daughter and you had all this shit going on in your house, this would have looked really, really, really bad on your part as a mother. Why are we trusting Dusties with money? He spent all my money. Well, damn. Well, what do you expect? The guy has no job, no income, no place to go. You're not surprised that he took your money and spent it after he was asking your son for money? Oh boy, you can't make this shit up. Listen, never mind wanting your job. You can't build with no nigga that don't have a job. I can't build with no baby. Never mind him wanting your job. The first of all, he don't even have a job to begin with. Doesn't have a place of residence. Like, what? Asking you to buy him shit. Oh my god! Like, you can't build with him, no way. Like, what? I could kind of believe that because he gives me baddies groupie. That's the vibe I get from him because before he started dealing with Rollie, he was trying to get at Diamond. He was trying to get at DTB, and that's kind of how when Rollie and Diamond were feuding around a little before the reunion aired, a little before they filmed the Baddies Midwest reunion. That was one of the reasons why they were beefing because um he was trying to talk to Diamond at first, and Diamond wasn't giving him the time of day. And Diamond, she had receipts, like she was showing like he was up in her DMs. Yeah, he was in her DMs, like basically talking to himself for months. So, he tried to get at Diamond. Diamond wasn't giving him the time of day. She wasn't responding to none of his messages and her DMs. And he, I guess Rollie was the next best thing. Like he settled for Rollie, you know? But when around the time when they were arguing about him and Diamond was like, "Oh yeah, I could have had your man. Your man was up in my DMs. I'm your man's favorite baddie, blah 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 blah, whatever. Uh, stop arguing with me before I sit on your man's face and make him kiss you and all this stuff Diamond was saying. Around this time, uh I went on his page, his Instagram page, and all he had was just flyers of baddies. That's all he had. Just events with like just events where they were booking baddies. Okay? Like Tasiki, Sapphire. Yeah, it was mainly like Tasiki, Sapphire, but like he just had like flyers of like events where baddies would be there. And I didn't know he was a promoter because he said he was like a promoter, so I don't know. And here's another thing, ladies. Be very beware of men like this, okay? Beware of men like this. Because let me tell you something. Men can be jealous of women, eh? Men can be jealous of women, especially when they have a woman that's making significantly more money than they are. When you're making way more money than a man and you have more assets than a man, because I think Rolly has like two or three houses. I'm not sure. So she said. Okay. But they will be jealous of you, and they will try to, give these like slick little backhanded insults, where they're, oh yeah, oh, you got a watch, oh well, well, my watch is better, my watch is newer, yeah, I worked for my watch, nobody had to give me a watch, like, like just little slick shit like that. Don't stay with a man like that, okay? A man like that is envious of you, and it goes both ways too. Men, don't be with a woman like this, okay? The worst thing to do is sleep with the enemy. A person like this is your enemy. Okay? This is your enemy. When they gotta say slick shit like this, that's not your friend. That's not your, you don't stay with somebody like that. Run, leave. That person's jealous of you. They're envious. That's not a person you need in your life. That's not a person you need in your space. That's not a person you need in your house. Run. Okay? That's jealous. You do not want a jealous partner ever. Okay? That's bad. Big red flag. But that's not true. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. Sometimes you can see, like, again, like when a man comes to your house and the first thing, like that right there should have been a big red flag to you, Rolly. If a man comes to your house and the first thing he's doing is asking you to buy him a chain, you have your this is not your husband. Again, this is not your husband. This ain't your baby daddy. This man just came into your house and asked you to buy him a chain. That's a big red flag. No man with any ounce of respect is gonna ask a woman that he just started dating to buy him a chain. Y'all were barely together for 6 months, and he's asking you to buy him a chain when he comes to your house for the first time. Even I never had, like, you know what I mean. And I've dated a Dusty. I've dated a couple of Dusties, but that's like even they had more shame than to ask me to buy them shit. Even they had more shame than that. No man with any ounce of self-respect is going to ask you to buy him shit, especially jewelry. Come on, Rolly. I agree with her to a certain extent, You never really know anybody until A, you live with them, B, you travel with them, and C, you open a business with them. You never know a person until you do those three things. But sometimes, Rolly, sometimes ladies watching this video, there are red flags. You don't necessarily have to live with someone to see that they are a dusty. A lot of times we be ignoring the red flags. You got to pay attention to what people say, what people ask you, how people talk to you, how people look at you. When someone gives you a gift, how they react to that. That will tell you if someone is really a dusty or not. You don't necessarily have to live with them to know that, you know? When I was in my 20s, I ignored a lot of red flags, but not anymore. Not anymore. And Rolly's 32, by the way. So Rolly, girl, get it together. Like you too big. You too big. You too old. You're too old to be still falling for this shit. Come on now. But you did take care of him, Rolly. This nigga already know I ain't taking care of his ass, but you did, Rolly. You did. Rolly keeps contradicting herself. Mm-mm. You. So why was he up in your house? Why was he in your house? Why were you doing all this shit for him? Why were you rolling around the place with him? Like I do not get it. Oh, I do not get it. How do you move somebody in your house that quick? Especially you got a underage child living with you, and his girlfriend be coming over too at that. Like Rollie, like this makes you look worse than it makes him. Okay, because you really need to do better. Okay, like the tax bracket that you're in, you have this fame from being on the show for you're on Baddies. Okay, one of the most popular shows in the world. I'm not even gonna say in America, in the world, because everybody knows about Baddies. Everybody watches Baddies. People be in the Caribbean, in the UK, in Canada watching Baddies. You are on a very popular, well-known, successful show. Okay, you make six figures, and this is the type of Dusty that you're dating, that you have up in your house around your kid. This makes you look so bad. Okay. What? You only knew me since December. We just met. And y'all was playing house? No, girl. No, this looks bad. This, and like the mental problems and stuff like that. I think Rolly, I don't know if you have mental problems or not. I mean, you've insinuated that you do in the past, but a bigger problem you have is you clearly got very, very low self-esteem. Because how you're even entertaining a man like this is beyond me. You have very low self-esteem, my girl. A mama's boy. You got a car just so he could get back with what? Yeah. But this is the guy that you don't like. I'm not about to put a nigga on that you just said you doing a for someone who's not gonna put a nigga on that she just met. You sure as hell doing a lot. You sure doing it. You bought a car just so he could get back and forth to girl. Rolly, you better than me, girl. Even if I had the money, you better than me. You better than me. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Wow. You see what I mean when I say like she's contradicting? He knew I wasn't gonna take care of him. I don't even like him. Blah 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 blah. But you got a car just so he could get back at man. uh, Sometimes I wish I was a man so I could find dumb bitches like this. Cause child, so what? You were gonna be his chauffeur? You were gonna be driving Miss Daisy? She just said she got a car so he could go back and. So what? You were gonna drive him around? You don't have enough shit to do. You got What the hell? This is bad. Rolly, what did he say? What did he do? All of that? All of that he took you out 3 times? Well, I mean, we'll go figure. I mean, he doesn't have a job. He don't have no money. I mean, but like Rolly, what was it he did? What was it he said that made you decide, okay, I'm gonna be in a relationship with this man? Was it just so you could stunt on the internet? Was it just so you could floss and show the internet, like, hey, look, I have a man? I really do feel like there's really women that just date men just so they could say, I have a man. Really and truly. I think it's just for the look. Hey guys, look, I have a man. Because I don't get it. Like, what did he say? What did he do that made you decide, okay, I'm gonna be your woman? He never took you out. And what is Cracker Barrel? Because I live in Canada. What is Cracker Barrel? What is that? Is that a restaurant? Like, is it a is the way she talks about it? It doesn't sound like it's a good restaurant. It sounds like it's cheap or something. The way she talking about it, like Cracker Barrel, like what is it, like a McDonald's or something? Like, what is Cracker Barrel? Y'all tell me in the comments below what Cracker Barrel is, if it's a good restaurant or not. You guys living in the States, let me know. You trying to be a good woman to a Dusty? This man doesn't deserve a good woman. This man deserves a reality check. He needs a wake up call. Okay? Y'all want a Jody so bad. Like, y'all will settle for a Jody just to say you have a man. Y'all will settle for Dusties just to say you have. I try to be a good woman. What? You can be a good woman, but to the men that deserve it. Men like this don't deserve a good woman. Okay? They deserve a 9 to 5, maybe some overtime to get their money up. They deserve a wake up call, a reality check. The nigga don't want to work. I'm trying to be a good woman to a man that doesn't want to work, that's lazy, that's jealous of you. That's who you want to be a good woman for? A man who's an opportunist? What? Come on, guys. It's 20, ladies, it's 2025. It's 2025. Please. I don't want y'all going through this anymore. Please. We got to do better, ladies. We got to do better. Especially y'all making 6 figures. We got to do better, ladies. Come on. We can't be, no, we can't. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. 2025 and beyond. We're not doing this, guys. We're not doing this. Please. We're not settling for men. Even if you're not making 6 figures, you're still not settling for men like this. Come on now. Jesus Christ. No. Oh. You cannot just listen to what a man tells you and say we could build together. Okay, again, do not believe what these guys say because they'll lie, they'll tell you anything, they'll tell you whatever shit, you know. And it's up to you guys to do your homework and check, you know? And if you, first of all, from the time a man is asking you to buy him a chain, that should tell you he don't got motion. Because no man with motion is going to ask you to buy him a chain, especially if y'all just got together. Like, come on, motion. You really thought this? Rollie is naive as fuck. Oh my God. You too big to be this gullible, girl. Yeah, I think I saw on his Instagram page some flyer for some reality show. Um I don't know if he was trying to do a reality show or what, but like it was, I think it was a love show or something. I don't know. Look like a some random low budget reality show he was trying to promote. See? Goes back to what I said before. You got to vet these men out. Go to their place before you let them see yours. Okay? And if they make up excuses as to why they can't invite you over, it's either they're homeless or they got a woman. But they hide in something. They hide in something. Oh boy. Man, shit is crazy, man. Shit is crazy. What just happened? What just happened? Okay, good. So yeah, y'all saw that. Y'all heard that, folks. Y'all heard that. Like I said what I had to say. Like I said, girls, ladies, gents, just beware of the homosexuals, and just. But anyway, I'm gonna do a video. My next video is gonna be on his live because he he said some things, and Rollie is a she's a liar too. So some things do contradict, but you never know. You never know. Like you never know. She said he's a narcissist. He's a manipulator. You never know. Like some people can pretend really well. Some people can lie. I mean, you just got to pick sense out of nonsense because Rollie's a liar, but this guy, we don't know how, but there were some things, again, I did not watch his entire live, but there were some things he said that I was like, yep, I can believe this. I can believe that. But anyway, I'll speak about that when I do that video. But yeah, um, I don't feel bad for Rollie, really. If she is telling the truth, I don't feel bad for her because you got to choose better, Like, Rollie's not a bum. Rollie's not, she's not an ugly person, She kind of has an ugly personality, yes, but she's not an ugly person. She has a lot going for herself. She's on a popular, successful show. She's making six figures. She really does not need to be dating a Dusty. Okay, so I don't feel bad for her. If the guy was using her and whatever, I really don't feel bad because, girl, you are in a position where you can get better quality men. You can get a high value man. If she just if she were to just, you know, be learn to be a little nicer and adjust her personality, you know, she could attract a high value man. Okay? Or you know what I mean? Like just a better man, you know? There's no reason for her to be entertaining a dusty like that. So, I mean, like I said before, it doesn't make her look good. It makes her look very naive, very gullible, very insecure that she's even entertaining a man like that if she is telling the truth. So I hope she learns her lesson. You know, she's so quick to say ET used her, Slim used her, these girls did her wrong and whatever. This guy did her worse. So you know what? Hey, maybe this guy was her karma. I don't know. You know, I don't know. But anywho, let me know in the comments below how you feel about Rollie, the things she said. Do you believe her? You think she's lying? Do you think he's lying? If you saw his live, like, what's your whole take on this situation? Do you feel sorry for Rollie? Like, do you think, you know, she had it coming? Good for her. This is her karma. But like, what do you think? Like, just, you know, let me know your comments below. And I look forward to reading them, answering them. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.